there are so many different qualities that poems have. And if you read this fantastic issue of Plowshares, you'll see how, alive and, subversive and anarchic it can be. But I think three of the qualities that I value most in poems are, and three of the things that I think that poetry is the short form of and can do better than any other literary form, are mobility and intensity and probably voice. It's that quickness, that changing of surface and changing of tone and shadow and direction of the mind that is the quality I think I value most in poems. And that convinces the reader that the poem is inhabited, that somebody real made it. That's why poems have to be, full of corruption as well as full of sort of, aspiration and certain kinds of idealism. It has to sort of exhibit, the pussy wound, right next to the angel wing. So you start writing, and what you're really waiting for is you're waiting for something to happen on the page that you didn't predict. And you can tell because the language takes on a certain kind of energy. And I call that having an accident. And I don't even remember how to have an accident, that's the thing about poetry is nobody really knows what it is. It's the embarrassing truth. Nobody knows what it is. Which makes teaching it awkward, but it's possible. But so that's called having an accident. That's what you want to happen, You want an accident to happen. And then, and you sort of know it when it's happening. You sort of half know it and half don't. And you keep on going and you hope it's a big accident, And then you take that accident and you transplant it to the center of your page, And then you can shape it. Because that's where the energy is. And anybody who reads your work is going to say, oh yeah, I like what's happening down here. This poem really isn't working, but what's going on down here in the third stanza? That's because that's where you had your accident, But you didn't know enough to throw out the first two stanzas. And move that into the center place of the poem and build the poem around that. And maybe improvise some kind of threshold to go into that, and improvise and shape some kind of conclusion for it. Because that's really where the energy is. And that's all people want out of poetry. They want an experience of energy. They want an experience of energy. They want to see a demonstration of, the human spirit and of language and mind all working together in a free way. That's what we want. That's really what we get off on when we read it. And there's no place else in our culture where you get to see people having fun with language, and or taking risks with ambiguity, or with irony, or saying really rude things, or saying really vulnerable things.